Sir, please.
I'll go when I'm ready to go.
Well, no, I've just told you to
You're just wasting my time.
jog on from my
Oh, I'd love
space.
to be away from you. Don't
This moment raises an important legal point about the Road Traffic Act 1988, specifically the requirement to wear a seatbelt. Under UK law, a driver must wear a seatbelt when the vehicle is being driven or is moving on a road. What matters here is whether the engine is running and whether the vehicle is actually in motion or about to be driven. Police officers are allowed to give preventative safety advice, and reminding someone to put a seatbelt on isn't unlawful in itself. However, the tone and wording can sometimes blur the line between advice and a lawful order. Unless the vehicle is being driven without a seatbelt, the officer isn't enforcing an offense at that moment. He's essentially giving a safety instruction. So, legally speaking, this is more about road safety guidance than the immediate enforcement of a traffic offense.
No, my friend, I am filming.
Why?
Blackpool.
Oh, Blackpool, not me.
I can film you.
No, you can. It's not very interesting.
Put your seatbelt on, my friend.
I'll do what I want to do, thank you very much.
You must put your seatbelt on.
Okay, tell me what to do.
No, you must put your seatbelt on. It's law, my friend. Please, put it on.
This is where the encounter shifts from a simple traffic-related comment into a conflict about authority and respect. In UK policing, officers are expected to maintain professional communication even when challenged. Equally, members of the public are legally allowed to question police actions. That's part of accountability in a democratic system. However, calling officers tyrants or escalating verbally doesn't create any legal advantage. From a procedural standpoint, the key issue is whether the officer remains calm, proportionate, and within their lawful powers. If an officer allows frustration to influence their actions, that's where complaints can arise later through professional standards departments. But the legal threshold for wrongdoing is high. Disagreement alone doesn't equal misconduct.
We'll do it now.
Don't tell me what to do, man.
I'm telling you what to do. It's the Road Traffic Act. Look at this guy's tyrant.
Alright,
Can I not tell you to put your seatbelt on?
you can do, yeah. Which I was doing.
Yes, you said
You don't
don't tell.
have to get yeah.
You
don't
said
have to get
don't.
arsey with me.
You said don't tell me what to do. I can do that.
We have a very different accent now, don't we?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you would.
Here, the focus shifts to something interesting but often misunderstood: police uniform policy. In the UK, uniform standards are set by individual police forces, typically under guidance from the chief constable. Officers sometimes wear charity badges, remembrance symbols, or thin blue line-style patches, depending on force policy. The important point is that this isn't governed by criminal law. It's an internal professional standard issue. If someone believes an officer's uniform breaches policy, the correct route is exactly what's mentioned here: a complaint to the force's professional standards department. They determine whether the item is authorized or inappropriate. So legally speaking, this isn't something a member of the public can enforce in the moment. It's purely an internal disciplinary or policy matter.
It's a symbol for a charity, a cop's charity.
Yeah, but that's not part of your uniform, my friend. So the Chief Constable of Lancashire Police
Yeah.
should not allow this.
Well, if you wish to make a complaint, I'm sure
You
can
will
do
not
so.
turn up to court with that on, and I can guarantee.
do.
No, you don't.
Well, I do, because I was in court 3 days ago.
And you turned up with that on.
Yep.
Right, I'm gonna. Right, 5703 Webster. I'm gonna report that because it's not part of your uniform. You should not turn up to court.
This exchange highlights a very important distinction in UK policing: the difference between a voluntary encounter and a detention. Police officers are allowed to approach anyone in a public place and start a conversation. That's called a consensual interaction. However, unless the officer is exercising a specific legal power, such as stop and search under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, the person is free to walk away. What matters legally is whether the officer gives commands that restrict movement or suggests the person isn't free to leave. If no such power is invoked, then this is simply a conversation. Understanding that difference is crucial because many disputes in police auditor videos revolve around whether someone is actually being detained or just spoken to.
Well, I want to go back to your van. Can I do that?
If you wish to go to my van.
Why do you come out to your van with me?
Because you started getting difficult, that's why. You started
Difficult?
giving that attitude with me.
Attitude? Can I not have an attitude?
I just want to come and speak to you. Make
Why?
sure you're alright.
I'm alright.
That's absolutely fine.
But you thought I was a foreigner and you were going to take advantage of that.
It's got nothing to do with that.
You said, don't tell me what to do. Well, look, you serve me because I'm a taxpayer.
Well, no, you just told me I serve the Crown, actually.
Yeah, which in turn
So,
gives you the right to
enjoy your
serve
day.
me. Yes, jog on, officer, please.
I'll go when I'm ready to go.
Well, no, I've just told you
You're
to
just wasting my time.
jog on from my
Oh, I'd love
space.
to be away from you, don't worry.
Will you? Well, move it then, please.
Go when I'm ready.
This is the most legally significant moment in the encounter. Under UK law, a police officer cannot detain someone without a specific legal power. Those powers usually come from legislation like the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, the Road Traffic Act, or other statutes, depending on the situation. If an officer tells someone they cannot leave, that effectively becomes a detention, and detention must be legally justified. Without a lawful power, such as suspicion for a stop and search or a traffic enforcement situation, telling someone they can't leave can quickly become problematic. The principle here is simple. Police authority is powerful, but it is always tied to clearly defined legal powers. If those powers aren't present, the interaction must remain voluntary.
I'll go when I'm ready to go.
Well, no, I've just told you
You're
to
just wasting my time.
jog on from my
Oh, I'd love
space.
to be away from you, don't worry.
Will you? Well, move it then, please.
Go when I'm ready, thanks.
You will go when I tell you. Move it.